Inside this 4,500 years old pyramid, which is 480 feet high from the ground, just to see it, the researchers sent a robot and a camera inside the pyramid. The robotic camera stopped at one place because there was a slab of stone in front of it. The researchers believed that there is definitely some secret hidden behind this pyramid, which has been kept secret for the last 4 years. This secret has been buried for 4,500 years. They had to know it at any cost, so they put a drill machine in front of the robot, which made a hole in the stone slab. Now a camera was sent inside this hole, which saw a scene beyond the slab which no one had seen in the last 4,500 years. When the videos once again showed happiness, there are a total of 138 tall 3-foot pyramids in Egypt, which have faced dozens of earthquakes and many dangerous storms over the past thousands of years, but it is impossible for any one of them to move from one place to another. The tallest and largest of these is known as the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the base area of this pyramid is 31 cubed. Amazingly, not just 1 or 2, but 9 football field frames can fit inside the pyramid. As per the actual weight, 1 lakh big stones were used in it, out of which some stones weigh 50 tons. But if we estimate its total weight, then the weight of the stone is 60 lakh tons, which is equal to the weight of 12 Burj Khalifa. It is made equally, but what was the purpose of making such tall and grand towers? Thousands of years ago, when humans did not even have any tools, how were the walls of these towers leveled inch by inch? How were letters weighing 50 tons cut into square shapes and transported to 480 feet high without any love? And how was it taken to make them? Who were the engineers who made these towers earthquake-proof and set all its sides at an exact angle of 51.5 degrees? You will be able to know all this in today's video. So let's start challenge number 1. For centuries, various research teams were sitting together to know the construction technique of this pyramid. How could each side of the pyramid have been set exactly to the north, south, east, and west without a compass? Many experts believe that the architects of that time must have first looked for land that could bear the weight of millions of tons of stones and then looked for the ball star, the stars that help determine the Earth's poles. Every side of the pyramid was marked. No compass, no optical instrument. Just with this basic technique, thousands of years ago, the question was set in this festival, and that too with the lions. Challenge number 2. The next challenge was to level the land. If the level of the 13-acre land on which this pyramid was to be made was even slightly out, then this mountain of 23 lakh papers would have been destroyed. Standing on it was not possible at all. Now, to level the land, the engineers of that time neither had a laser leveler nor force. Experts believe that people would have stood on all 4 sides of the construction site and water would have been poured in it, and then the water level on one side would have been matched with the water level on the other side, which would have the portion of land not matching the water level must have been leveled by cutting it with the help of chisels and hammers. Many experts believe that instant education also used this simple tool, which had wooden sticks on both sides and a stone. Challenge number 3. Now, on the paramedical traction side, the directions were set, the marking was also done, and the level of the land was also set. Now it was the turn to start the construction, for which huge stones weighing lakhs of tons were requested. But neither were these stones available for cutting, nor were they able to cut the stones. They had no grinders and no check valves, but still they cut 50-ton stones and also gave them the shape of square or rectangle. But with whose help? Yes, this is the only plant with the help of which the letters were cut. Experts believe that the stone used in the construction of the stone is not made of just copper. Because they also knew that copper is soft, and cannot cut stone, so a chemical and silica was also included in it. This Chinese wood made from copper and silica was hit on the stones with hammers, and after many hours of hard work, big stones were brought into shape. Challenge number 4 now, which is this, a special kind of stone, which is today known as limestone, was being cut in the city of Dora, 250 kilometers away from pyramid construction site. Now the issue was to transport this stone. Each stone weighed 50 tons, or 50,000 kilograms, which is approximately equal to the weight of 3 passenger buses. And there were lakhs of such stones, just because of one parameter. It was going to be a blast to transport so much weight. In those days, neither any animal could be of use, nor did they have trees. So if this work had to be done in the present day, Jagdish's way, then the transport company would get a good top 5 for it. Surprisingly, this work was done with the help of trucks and boats. Yes, Torah and Visa. The advantage of the river present during this period was taken, and the stones were loaded in large boats and taken to the site. Experts believe that this task was not that easy. An army of at least 500 workers would have been deployed at the same time for loading and unloading such large stones in the ships. Challenge number 5, which was the team spirit of the experts. She was doing research on the construction of the building, and now she had found answers to many of her questions. But one thing was bothering her all the time, that the limestone was cut, transported, and during the construction, it started falling on top of each other. The question was, how were the stones transported to such a height? Many experts believe that this was planned before the construction permit was issued. Either it would have gone up through a spiral track or in a zigzag manner. But it is certain that the 50,000 kilogram stones would have been pulled up with the help of an army of workers. Challenge number 6 is that lakhs of workers were needed to cut the limestone with a chisel and hammer and to transport such huge stones. Not only this, there were compartments inside this pyramid, a way to enter them, and many small tunnels were also made. Everything else is fine, but one thing surprised the experts, and that was that the stone used in the inner compartment was not limestone, but granite. Yes, such a stone. It is considered to be the hardest stone in the world. After diamond, or even in the Motorola era of Google, granite cannot be cut without the help of huge grinders. Many archaeological experts from all over the world were also made to visit the place, but no one could find any clue that 4,500 years ago, Egyptians had carved a solid stone like granite. How was it cut so cleanly? Finally, after so many years, the experts have solved this mystery. The new car was cut so cleanly with a saw that had no teeth. Yes, without teeth. It was run on granite by putting weight on both its sides, and gravel was put in the middle, experts believe. That it took 4 months to cut such a large stone in this manner. What was the purpose of making the remedy? How many workers worked at the same time to make these stones? And when the robotic camera shot a photo inside the vat, amid the flood of stones, what scene was seen inside it? Then, in the last 4,000 years, no one had seen this for the last 500 years, and you will get to know more about this in part 2 of this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments and likes.